Welcome to St. Joseph's open web-based learning platform, So eLearn, for a soulful and enriching e-learning experience. So previously in this introduction to commerce, already we discussed about the concept of commerce, imports and exports. Under the imports and exports, we discussed about the what do you mean by imports, exports, distinction between international trade and the internal trade, the export procedure and import procedure. Now we are going to learn about the chapter 1.3, balance of payments. So in this balance of payments, we are going to learn about concept of balance of payments, methods of compilation of the statistics of the balance of payments, specimen of some kind of balance of payments, errors and omissions, and uses of balance of payments. So let us see the concept of balance of payments. The balance of payments of a company represents a systematic record of several economic transactions taken place during a specific period of time, namely a financial year or an accounting year, in the country involved in the international trade. So in a simple manner, we can say that balance of payments is a statement of records. Is a record of all the receipts and payments made at the international the level between the countries. So the statement will be prepared on the basis of the double entry bookkeeping system. It has two sides, like normal account, that is the debit side and the credit side. So both the receipts and payments are categorized into two broad parts, namely current account and the capital account. Current account represents the transfer of real income, whereas the capital account transfers the funds without affecting the real income. So methods of compilation of the statistics of BPO. In the statistical information pertaining to the balance of payment followed in two methods, current account and the capital account. So let us see what do you mean by current account. Current account keeps a detailed record of all the receipts and payments occurred in the international business transactions between the countries across the globe. So it contains the following important items. First one is receipt side of the current account. The receipt side of the current account and the payment side of the current account will be there. Receipt side of the current account contains export of goods, invisibles and non-monetary movement of gold, whereas the payment of side of the current account includes import of goods, invisibles and non-monetary movement of the gold. So apart from this, what do you mean by this? We know about the export of goods and the import of goods. So let us see the remaining the meaning of the remaining the terminology. The balance of trade. What do you mean by trade? The difference between the inflow and outflow of the international funds is termed as the balance of trade. So when the exports exceeds the import, balance of trade shows the surplus. When the imports exceeds the export, it shows the deficit balance in the balance of trade. So that we need to remember. And what do you mean by invisibles? The term invisible consists both receipts and payments occurred due to trade services such as travel and tourism, transport, etc., investment income like interest and dividend, and unilateral transfers. What do you mean by unilateral transfers? The concept of the unilateral transfers refers to the flow of funds in a single direction, not in the double direction. So that we can call it as the unilateral transfers. Unilateral transfers involves pensions, remittances, gifts. So whenever we are giving at the time of the remittances or the gifts, means you are giving any kind of at the time of the natural calamities or the drugs, you are giving some kind of the gift amount to the other country, and that we will call it as a unilateral transfers. That cannot be returned back to your country back. So these remittances and the gifts comes under the unilateral transfers. So all these items represents the outflow of the funds in the international business transactions. Only outflow, not the inflow. Monetary and non-monetary movement of a gold. What do you mean by movement of gold in the foreign exchange market? May be two types. So one is monetary and the non-monetary. So what do you mean by monetary? Monetary movement refers to the buying or selling of gold in the forex market. that influences the international monetary service. So then what do you mean by non-monetary the movement of the gold? So non-monetary sale and purchase of the gold are occurred. Sale and purchase, we are not buying, okay? Sale and purchase of the gold are incurred in the international market for the purpose of meeting the industrial requirements is called the non-monetary movement of the gold. And current account transactions. So the current account is prepared as per the principles of the accounting principles. It records both the receipts and payments of the foreign exchange in the international market. Already I told you, it's two sides, receipt side and the payment side. Then the second part of this balance of the payment is capital account. Capital account is an integral part of the balance of payments. Capital account records all the receipts and payments incurred in the international trade, including both long term and the short term. Long term transactions refers to the transactions taken place within the maturity period of more than 1 year. More than 1 year is called the long term transactions. So whereas the short term the transactions represents all the sorts of business transactions taken place in the international market with a maturity period of 1 year or the less than a year. It also maintains a detailed record of the bank balances of the non-residents held in the home country. So this is also one of the major important point in the capital account. Debit side of the account records the disinvestment of the capital employed in the country, foreign investments made by the home country in the global market, loans issued by the home country to the foreign country, and etc. will be given. On balancing of accounts, difference of both credit and debit side of the current account along with the long term capital account, if anything, will be termed as the basic balance. So all these things were involved in the capital account. So what are all the errors and omissions of the BPO? Some kind of the errors will be occurred in the balance of payments. So this is the third position after calculating the balance of payments of a capital account. It is termed as statistical discrepancy. Errors and omissions in the balance of payments are the net of all the biases and the missing data. So these are calculated difference between the sum of the current and the capital accounts and the financial account given in a sum of the, first of all we have to add the current and the capital accounts, and that have to be differentiated from the, subtracted from the financial account of a given period. So relatively larger in the monthly or the quarterly statistics than annually, because of the timing differences disappears in the annual data to a great extent. So foreign transactions of the large international companies have led to a considerable validity in the statistics. And in the Environmental Monetary Union, their transactions are not necessarily reflected in the finance balance payment of the statistics. So especially this errors and omissions is presented in the balance of payment. This is the third position after calculating the balance of capital account. So this also termed as statistical discrepancy, that we need to remember. Okay. Now let us see the uses of balance of payments. So balance of payments helps in ascertaining the total international receipts and payments made during a specific period of time, namely a certain year. It provides information about the commercial and financial transactions made by the home country with the other countries. And it also depends upon the user efficiently. They are utilizing in the important data provided by the balance of payment statement. Amount of surplus of the deficit presented in the balance of payment depicts the clear picture of the economic condition of a country in relation to the international trade or the business. It may be used for the purpose of the evaluation and the forecasting the future possible businesses and economic conditions of the country. It portrays the clear picture of the foreign exchange position of the country. So where how much foreign exchange going on in between the countries, we'll get a clear picture through this balance of payments. And it also used for the information about the nature, size, structure, movement of the trading between the home country and the host country, also international market. So these are all the certain uses of the balance of payments. This is the specimen copy. So first of all, current account and then capital account. Even the current account also, credit and debit side will be there. The balances and capital account. Errors and omissions, if any errors and omissions are there, and that have to be written over there. And overall balance means we have to add current account, capital account, errors and omissions, etc. And then we will get the final balance of payment statement. So these are the points to remember. So one review question is given: capital account, inflow loans amounted and outflow loans amounted. How you have to, loan means you have to subtract the in order to get the net loan, you have to subtract from the outflow to the repayment of the loan from the inflow of the loans. And then FDI also, inflow and outflow is there, subtract from the inflow from the outflow, then you will get the remaining balance. And here the short term movement of the short term funds are also given. So that is you have to write minus 600. Then after adding all these things, you will get the balance of the capital account. In the same way, you can do the current account also. Hope you all understood. Thank you.